Have you ever felt like life keeps shutting every door no matter how hard you knock? Have you ever been rejected so many times that your dream feels like a fading echo? And what if I told you that a nearly 70-year-old man, penniless and rejected over 1,000 times, built a fried chicken empire that changed the world? In a quiet little town in Indiana, a boy's life changed forever. He was only 6 when his father passed away. His mother, overwhelmed and desperate, took a job at a tomato cannery. That meant he, just a child, had to become a caregiver for his younger siblings. While other children were learning to read and play, he was learning to boil potatoes and quiet his hunger. The dreams of childhood were replaced by the heavy weight of survival. By 10, he was working as a farmhand. School became a luxury he couldn't afford. He dropped out in the 6th grade. At 16, he lied about his age to enlist in the army. After returning, he worked on the railways, briefly studied law, only to throw it away in a heated argument that ended his legal career before it ever truly began. He tried selling insurance, fired. He tried again, failed. Every path he took ended in a dead end. Every job seemed to slip through his fingers like sand. Still, he refused to give up. He started a ferryboat business. It actually worked. Encouraged, he invested in a lamp manufacturing company, but electric lamps soon replaced his oil-based ones. Next came a job as a tire salesman, and another disappointment when the factory shut down. Again and again, life seemed to whisper, "This isn't for you." But he never stopped listening to something deeper, a quiet voice that said, "Try again." Eventually, an oil company gave him a chance. Manage a gas station rent-free in exchange for a portion of profits. He accepted, but didn't stop at pumping gas. He started cooking. Fried chicken. Pan-seared, golden, seasoned with a blend of secret spices. It was simple, yet unforgettable. Travelers came for gas, but stayed for the meal. And word began to spread. Finally, a taste of success. With growing popularity, he opened a full restaurant and even bought a motel next door. But fate struck again. A disagreement with a local rival escalated into a shootout. One of his employees died. Years later, a fire destroyed both his restaurant and the motel. Everything gone, again. But you can't burn down a man's spirit. He rebuilt, stronger, better. A 140-seat restaurant emerged from the ashes. Then, the world went to war. World War II forced him to shut it all down, once more. After the war, he had one thing left, his recipe, a perfect mix of herbs and spices, a dream in a pressure cooker. So he traveled, knocking on doors of restaurants, offering to share his recipe. He was turned down not once, not 10 times, but 1,009 times. 1,009 doors slammed in his face. Who keeps going after that? He did. On the 1,010th try, someone finally said yes. And that tiny spark lit the fire that would become a global phenomenon. He franchised his chicken. Owners paid him 4 cents per bird. But life wasn't finished testing him. A newly built highway rerouted traffic. His restaurant lost its customers. He had no choice but to sell it. All he had left was a beat-up car, a few dollars, and $105 a month from Social Security. Most people would have given up, but not this man. He hit the road, not to retire, but to rise. He slept in his car, wearing the same suit, carrying jars of spice, and cooking in restaurant kitchens for free. If the owners liked it, he offered them a deal. Little by little, city by city, the dream grew legs. At an age where most people slow down, he sped up. Kentucky Fried Chicken was born. From a single recipe, he created a global brand, KFC. He opened a company headquarters. He wore his white suit with pride. Even after selling the business, he continued traveling 250,000 miles a year, visiting franchisees, shaking hands, serving customers. He wasn't just a businessman. He was a symbol of what's possible, even when life has said no to you more times than you can count. By the time he passed away at 90 years old, his chicken was being served in over 6,000 restaurants across 48 countries. Today, there are over 22,000 KFCs in the world. So, if you've been rejected, if you've been told it's too late, if your dream seems foolish, or far, or forgotten, remember Colonel Harlan Sanders, a 6th grade dropout, a man who failed more times than most will ever try, a man who began again at 65, and from that moment forward, he changed the world. Let this story be your reminder. It's never too late. You're never too old. And you're never out of chances unless you stop trying. Drop a comment below. I will rise again. Subscribe to GoldenBellDharma for more powerful stories that touch your spirit and awaken your strength. Like this video if it inspired you, and share it with someone who needs to believe again. Because sometimes, a little fried chicken is all it takes to stir a sleeping dream back to life.